Hey y'all, I've been on YouTube looking at a couple of videos on how I can change the gasket in my Kenmore washer. I am stuck at the point where I have to get this spring ring back on the gasket. I do have the tool recommended by the videos, but it's not letting me stretch the spring out properly. The spring keeps popping off. I did see a suggestion where somebody said to try some zip ties. That didn't work for me. I also tried some twine. That didn't work for me, but I have one more thing that I did try, and that's some thin wire that worked for me. Um, Here we go. So up close and personal with the tool, like if you have a tool like mine, you'll notice that you have a notch on each side of the tool. It might be different for what you have, but this notch, I was expecting my ring to fit in there snugly. Looks like my ring is, well, one, it's curving, and two, it's a little too big for the notches. So my solution is to build a little ring that will fit between the tool and one of the spring hooks. So just using some 10-pound galvanized steel wire that I got from Lowe's. I took the wire, wrapped it around the thicker part of the tool about 4 or 5 times, and then I unraveled it a bit so I could do a bit of twist tying. There you go. And then now I can pop it off. And what I'll do is I'll tuck this twist tie in so it doesn't stab anything. And then I'll get it around one side of the spring. So here's my tool with the spring on it. Again, I am not comfortable squeezing the tool with the spring on there. It looks like it's gonna end up popping off, and again, that's what's been stopping me from just using the tool by itself. So I went ahead and made the second wire ring, and put it on the screw, and then fit it on the tool for you to see. So if you can see, the notch is being leveraged by the wire ring on both sides. And I feel more comfortable squeezing this thing the full max open. But even then, I'm going to be still wearing goggles just in case this thing goes haywire. But here we go. One quick note: the metal ring from the washer, I am actually attaching it to the spring, and then using my steel wire rings just to leverage the spring. So again, we're just stabilizing the tool being connected to the spring, and we'll get this thing on the gasket. So watching the video where we initially took the ring off, I noticed that the spring was stretched out, but it wasn't fully stretched out to get it off. It was actually stretched out, and then we dragged it down a bit at the gasket. So to get the ring back on, we're just going to reverse that. So I have the spring on my rings, on the ring that came with the washer on, and then I tucked it into the gasket as much as I could. And since this was the position that we pulled it off in, this is the position we're going to put it back. Just a side note, I have a plastic shim. This is for car trim. This is going to help me push the ring into its place in the gasket without jacking up my gasket. All right, so now we got it on there. You'll see we can go all the way around and start to see that this thing's on there pretty good. Got nothing sticking out for the most part. Did a little bit of resetting of the gasket, but other than that, I'm just going to snip off my rings and finish putting them back together. Hopefully this video helps you guys out and saves you the 2 to 5 hours that it took me. Hey y'all, I've been on YouTube looking at a couple of videos on how I can change the gasket in my Kenmore washer. I am stuck at the point where I have to get this spring ring back on the gasket. I do have the tool recommended by the videos, but it's not letting me stretch the spring out properly. The spring keeps popping off. I did see a suggestion where somebody said to try some zip ties. That didn't work for me. I also tried some twine. That didn't work for me, but I have one more thing that I did try, and that's some thin wire that worked for me. There we go.